Well, good morning. We're ready to start our grammar assignment today. Can you get your book out and look on page 35? We're going to be working with sentences today and seeing what we can do with that. Okay, page 35. Make sure you put your name at the top of all these pages too. I forget to remind you to do that. Okay, let's look right up here about writing a sentence. We've learned about 3 different kinds of punctuation marks. Now remember, we didn't learn really about it in this stuff. You've learned it before, but I think they mentioned it a little bit last week. So punctuation marks are things that go at the end of a sentence. When you're finished saying something, you have to put one of these punctuation marks. And that punctuation mark, when you're in the car and you're driving down the road and you come to a red light, or a green light, or a yellow light. It tells you something to do. If it's a green light, you go. If it's a yellow light, you slow down and look. If it's a red light, you have to stop. Well, a punctuation mark is kind of that way. A period tells us to kind of stop just for a second, that you were just told some information. A question mark says, did you get that question? I just asked you a question. And an exclamation point says, wow, that's awesome. Okay, so that's what those do. A period, a question mark, and an exclamation mark. Now, a period looks like this. It just is a dot at the end of a sentence. And that tells whoever's reading it, that tells them that you're finished with that sentence. Then you can start a new one. An exclamation point looks like this. It's a line with a dot under it. That's the one that gets excited. A question mark is like a squiggly line. It goes, boop, and it has a dot at the bottom. Okay? That asks a question like, what? Who? Where? It asks questions. All right? So let's practice writing these. Get your pencil ready. We're going to write some things here. I'm going to use red. So let's practice writing a period. Can you make just a little dot right there? That's a period. Let's write an exclamation mark. Now let's do a question mark. Do yours look good? I think mine look pretty good. All right. We use a period when we're just making a statement or just telling somebody. If we're just saying something, just to say something, just giving some information, we use a period. Can you read this sentence out loud, please? Did you say Adam and Eve lived in a garden? Okay, that sentence, it just tells something, right? It does not ask a question. It's not going crazy or anything. It's just saying something, right? So that's why they put a period right there. Adam and Eve lived in the garden. That period says, I just told you something. Now, we use an exclamation point for surprise, a command, or very strong feelings. Can you read this out loud, please? Okay. Did you say, don't eat from that tree? Okay. Now, do you see this exclamation mark right here at the end? Now, remember how I told you that you see a green light, a red light, or a yellow light and you know what to do? Well, when you see an exclamation mark, you know that you need to read it like this. Don't eat from that tree. Okay, that's a command. It's very important. It's strong feelings. Don't eat from that tree. I want you to say it like that with the exclamation mark. Ready? Don't eat from that tree. All right. We use a question mark when we ask a question. Can you read this out loud? Did you say, why did sin enter the earth? Okay, you see this? Well, that tells me that this is a question, and I have to say it like a question, and this is how you would say it. Why did sin enter the earth? Did you hear my voice? Let's say it with me. Why did sin enter the earth? See, that's a question mark. This one we just say, Adam and Eve lived in a garden. Don't eat from that tree! Why did sin enter the earth? Do you see the difference in my voice and how I read the sentences? That's very important for anybody who writes anything. It's very important. Let's look at the next page. Okay. Now we get a chance to practice and see what we know. Are you ready? All right. It says, add the correct punctuation to the sentences. So I'm going to have you pause this, and you're going to have to read the sentence. And you either put a period or an exclamation mark or a question. But you have to pay very close attention. You might have to read the sentence a couple of times before you know. Okay? So go ahead and pause this while you do that. Put your punctuation marks right here, whichever one you think they should be. All right, did you finish it? Did you put them did you put what you think, where they go, the punctuation mark? All right, well, I'm going to check it. Now, this sentence says, Adam named the animals. That's just telling us, right? It's just saying something. Adam named the animals. So I think that needs to be a period right there. Did you put a period? Okay. He must have had fun. I bet that needs an exclamation mark. Did you hear how I read that? He must have had fun. So that would have an exclamation mark. What did he name them? That's a question, isn't it? He's asking a question, so it has to be a question mark. What did he name them? Did you get those right? I hope you did. Okay. Here's your assignment. It's copy work practice. I want you to take this sentence. Can you read it out loud? Did you say Adam and Eve lived in a garden? Okay, that's the sentence. I want you to copy this sentence perfectly, exactly on these lines. Okay, make sure you spell everything. Make sure you put everything just like it's supposed to be. And then your mom's going to snap a picture and send it to me so that I can read what you wrote. Okay? All right, so after you're finished with this, you can practice your spelling, and then I want you to pick up your book, and I want you to read a couple more pages in your book, okay? That's all for today.